here. So we're going to start with Desmos. And if you want to open it up here, you can either do it on your phone or in a Chromebook. You could go also through the portal. Remember, it's right here. And it's right next to Big Ideas for me. So you can do it either way, but here we are on Desmos. And you don't have to log in or anything, but you will click here to enter your first equation. Because on our notes where we left off yesterday, it says graph y equals x. So you need to have this available, and you just type in with your keyboard y equals x. It shows you a line. You don't have to do anything else, but it does say it wants you to make it. Copy the graph carefully, and it says use the table feature to find the exact coordinates to plot using a black dotted line. So let me show you where that stuff is. Right next to this graph, there's a plus. So if you click that plus, it shows you f of x expression, note, table, folder, image. So this will show you the values. I don't ever use that. I just look right here. If you want to know what a point is, you just click on it and it'll tell you what it is. Okay, and these go right in the middle, 0, 0. If it's gray, it'll stay. Now if I want to change it to black, as long as this is selected, you click over here where it's red and you hold it down. When you hold it down, this menu pops up. And you can make it any color you want right here of these 6. So I'm going to choose it black, and I also want dotted or dashed. So this is solid, this is dashed, this is dotted. So I am going to do dashed. You can also change the width here. But anyway, once you have this line, then go to your paper where your camera is. Okay, like this. And we're going to put in y equals x right here on this. That's my first step. This is my parent function. It goes straight up and down. We're going to use a ruler. Put arrows on the end and label it. You don't have to worry about the little subscripts here where it says y sub 1, y sub 2, y sub 3. That's just a way of differentiating the lines. Don't worry too much. But once you have y equals x, the next one says, without clearing the screen, graph y equals x minus 3 and make it red. So I'm going to go back to Desmos because I have no other way. I'm not using my phone. And I just press enter to get a new one. So I type in y equals x minus 3. And it shows up in black. I want to again change it to red. So I come over here, I hold it down, and I click red. There. Once I have that, then I go back to my sheet. I'm going to add. Remember there's these gray lines, or the gray points, so you can see that it crosses these 2 points. So I'm going to put it on my paper. I'm going to use my straight edge. Lo and behold, it's directly parallel to the line I already have. And I label it y equals x minus 3 in red. The next question says, describe the transformation of y equals x minus 3 from y equals x. So in other words, what would you do to the parent function, which is the black one, to get to the new function, which is the red? All you're doing is you're lowering it, okay? So to get from the black to the red, it's going down 3 units. And when it's going up or down, that's called a vertical translation. So we're going to write vertical translation, and then you're going to say which way, and it's going down 3. That's it. The next one, we're going to go back to Desmos. I put a little check mark to make cushion. It says graph y equals x plus 5, and add this in blue. So I go back to the Desmos. And again, I just press enter. Y equals x plus 5. I press enter. Oh, it's red. I want blue. So I go back here and I click blue. You know what? There's a way I can make this bolder. I'm going to do that too. That helps to see it a little better, doesn't it? There's a way to do it bold. So now I have these 3 lines. I'm going to add it to my paper. I'm checking here to see where it crosses the axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect it nice and long all the way through, and this is y equals x plus 5 on my paper. So I'll go back here to where you're working on it. It should look like that. And it says, describe the transformation of y equals x plus 5 from the black one. So here's the black. What would you do to the black to get to the blue? Well, you'd raise it up 5 because there's 5 here, so it goes up 5. Again, that's called a vertical translation. Up 5. So to summarize this example, what did the negative 3 do to the parent function? It made it go down 3. What did the plus 5 do to the parent function? It made it go up 5. Do let me know if I go too fast. Okay, you know by the time I get here, I've done it a few times. So these are vertical translations, either up or down. But I do have to turn the page, and I'm going to show you some more stuff on Desmos. So we turn the page, and now we're looking at, let's try another graph. Y equals absolute value x. So I'm going to go back to Desmos now. And in order to, you don't have to like erase all these. You can erase them, but if you just don't want to see them right now, all you have to do is unclick this button. It makes them go away. Because you might want them later. It doesn't, you know, you're not logged in. It's not going to save it. It's just as easy to turn it on or off than it is to click X and make it go away. So I always like to leave them there, so just in case, so I can see. Now, in order to do absolute value, you are going to need to use their keyboard. There's nothing you can do with the big keyboard. So it's actually, got to move this. It's actually down here. There's a little tiny keyboard in the lower left. So click the up arrow and ta-da, it pops up. You'll notice there's a little A here with absolute value. So on the next line here, you're going to type in y equals, and then you're going to press the absolute value. You're going to press X, and then you're going to press it again. It gave it to me green. I don't want green. I want black. Oh, whoops. So on or off, hold it, and then I want black dots. There we go. Now I put it back on my paper. And don't forget to label it. That is y equals absolute value x. The next one, it says without clearing your screen, we're now going to do absolute value x minus 3. So y equals, I do the same thing, absolute value x, and then we're going to do minus 3. And it says to do it in red. So I go over here, I change it to red. Beautiful. And now I add it to my graph. Going back here, now that I have that on there, describe the transformation of absolute value x minus 3 from the black one. What would you have to do? Same thing. We went down 3, which is a vertical translation because it's going up or down. So vertical translation, and you can just write down 3. Next, without clearing your screen, now we're going to do plus 5. We're going to do it in blue. Back to Desmos. Enter. Y equals absolute value x plus 5. I hold that. I get blue. Nice. You can also zoom out a little with these plus and minus buttons over here. So this one goes through 0, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same graph. Looks just like every other V. You can make it look very pretty with your ruler. And of course, we're going to label it. Y equals absolute value plus 5. Describe the transformation. In other words, what would you do to the parent function to get the new function, the blue? So from the black to the blue, you're just going up 5. Again, a vertical translation, up 5. And in summary, what did the negative 3 do to the parent function? It made it go down 3. And the plus 5 made it go up 5. So that's your summary at the very end. This is what it's doing. Any questions? How's our pace? Okay? You can work ahead if I'm too slow too, because all the steps are written right there for you. Some of you work a little more quickly, but I want to make sure that we're all getting there. And I'm pretty sure we have one more. Yes. So now we're going to look at, this will be our one more example. We're going to do y equals x squared. Okay. Before I go to Desmos, no, I do want to go to graph. Yeah. So first I go to Desmos, but then I'm going to do a prediction before I do the next screen. So here's Desmos. I'm going to turn these off. We'll do the next one. Y equals, and we're doing x squared. So again, the keyboard's still up, and you press the X, and then there's an A squared button. you press that and it will square your button. Squares that right there. Okay, so you may notice here's 0, 0. Another point on here is 1, 4. Sorry. 1, 1. And 2, 4, because if you do 2 times 2, it gives you 4. So whenever I graph this on my paper, I always do it like this. I always start at 0, 0, and then I go 1, 1, and then I put the negative. And then I go 2, 4, and then I put the negative. Because it's symmetric. Okay? The other thing I'm going to ask you to do, whenever you draw a parabola, always make sure that it looks like a curved U. It always drives me a little crazy when people try to make it, and they just sort of go like a V, but it's not a V. So you can tell if you just connect these 3 in a smile. See, not only does it make you happy, you have a smiling graph, but now it looks like a parabola. So you can connect then from there, connect as well as possible. Okay, and it looks like a U. So we're going to label y equals x squared. Now the next part says, without clearing your screen, predict, make a prediction. What transformation of this would you expect if I now do x squared minus 5? What would you expect to happen if you now do x squared minus 5? Volunteer? Lana? Yeah, it's probably going to go down 5. So let's just write down 5. Okay, and then we're going to go to Desmos. Oh, I wanted that to be black too. Let me change that to black. Black dots, black dash. Okay. Because that's my parent function. And now I'm going to do y equals x. I'm going to square it here, and then I'm going to do minus 5. And lo and behold, beautiful lowered 5 graph. There it goes, and that's in red. So now we go back to our paper. We're going to add that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these points will be the same. So from here, it'll be 1, 1, and 1, 1. It'll be 2, 4, and 2, 4. It'll also be 3, 9. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And since that's 3 away from the axis, this is also 3 away from the axis. I make a smiley face because parabolas are happy graphs, and then you can connect as carefully as possible. Some arrows in there. No rush. But we are going to label that red one y equals x squared minus 5 here. And we're going to go to the next one. Without clearing your screen, predict what transformation of the parent function do you expect if you do x squared plus 2? Natalia, what do you think? Up 2 units. That's what I think too. So we go back to Desmos. We go to the next line. Y equals x squared, and then we do plus 2. And again, we want that in blue. So I'm going to change that to blue. Ta-da! Isn't that nice? So the black one's in the middle, right? The -5 is the red, the +2 is the blue. We will go back to our paper and draw it. Again, it's right here. That's 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4. Make it happy. I'll label it over here because I don't have room. So y equals x squared plus 2. Was your prediction correct? Yes. So hopefully by now you see with all these examples, if you want to move something up or down, any function, you're just going to put a plus number or a minus number after the function, right? After whatever that parent is. Now we're going to do a different translation. So we're going to switch. Now we're going to go right and left. Okay, so again, it's an exploration type thing. We're going to try a different transformation. We're going to go back to y equals absolute value of x. Okay? And I didn't format this well because it's on the next page. But we're going to do that. Then we're going to do x minus 3. But see how it's on the inside instead of the outside now? It's on the inside of the absolute value. We'll do that in red. And then we'll describe it. So we already know what absolute value of x looks like, but let's go back to Desmos. We'll uncheck our parabolas so they go away. And we can recheck the one that says absolute value. Just turn it on. We'll put that on our paper. This is our parent function. This is y equals absolute value x. And then we're going to do this in red. So I'm going to go back to here. And I'm going to put in y equals, then I press the absolute value, x, and then I'm going to do minus 3. And then I press the absolute value again. I want that to be in red. So click in red, and now I have it look like this. Okay, so here's our parent. And if I do x minus 3, it moves it now sideways, right? So instead of vertical, you're going to write horizontal, because that means sideways. So it's going to be a horizontal translation. Which way, right or left? You can all tell your right from your left, can't you? My mom was left-handed, and she always taught me stuff left-handed, but I'm right-handed, so sometimes I do get my right and my left confused. But you'll see, when you do the x minus 3, the base of it, where it comes to a V, moved over 3 to the right. So you should have a horizontal translation right 3. And then we label it, this is y equals x minus 3 absolute value. The next one says x plus 5. So now we're going to go back to Desmos. grab the blue and do x plus 5. So y equals absolute value x plus 5. Absolute value. Again, we want to turn it blue. Turn it blue. And I have this lovely graph. So you'll see if I do a plus 5 on the inside of the absolute value, it's gone to the left. See how it's gone over here instead? So we're going to write that down on our papers. It's a horizontal translation, right? Because we're going sideways. So describe the transformation. Let me put the line on there first. Now label, this is y equals x plus 5. Like that. And this transformation went from the black to the blue. So this is a horizontal, sideways. Translation, left, 5. And here we go, our -3. When I put it in here, it made it go to the right. 3 units. The positive 5 made it move left 5. And we're almost done. We're going to do one more graph of x squared. But same thing, we're going to start with x squared. One will be on the right, one will be on the left. We will continue. So I'm going to go back to Desmos, click on the x squared, put it on my paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it looks like this. Happy graph. This is y equals x squared. Go back to Desmos, turn the other ones off. Turn this one on. And then it wants me to do x plus 4 squared, but it looks different. It's y equals, and the 4 is on the inside of parentheses. So you have to use the parentheses here. X, and then plus, and then 4, and then end parentheses. That's supposed to be red. Let's make it red. Oh, yeah. And I forgot to square it, so that's like it should be the same. There we go. There's a square. Okay. So we're going to add that to our paper, and we're going to describe this transformation. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back here. I do my happy graph, and I label it. And this is y equals x plus 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Hopefully you can see that that is inside the parentheses, but it's asking for the transformation. This is 4 units left horizontally. So it's a horizontal translation for left. We've got 2 more minutes. I'm going to crack this out. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. using Desmos. This is y equals x minus 2 quantity squared. Label. This is a horizontal translation. To right. So what did the negative do to the parent function? It made it go to right. And the plus 4 made it go 4 left. So after this, hopefully you've got those notes finished and down. You are going to do practice C1L1 in Big Ideas. You can watch this again at any time. I'll post it. And remember, that is due tomorrow by class time, but it is late start tomorrow. So you will be able to finish that, hopefully.